Dear students, in today's class we are going to discuss some very important questions from the chapter Reproductive Health of the second year biology. Okay. So the first question is regarding MTP. MTP means medical termination of pregnancy. So MTP legalization was in the year 1971 and the MTP was later amended in the year 2017. So the correct answer is C, 1971 and 2017. So in the first legalization at the 1971, MTP was legalized only during the first trimester of pregnancy. But later it was amended in certain cases. MTP can be done in the second trimester of pregnancy also, only with the consent of two medical practitioners. Okay. So the correct answer is C, 1971 the legalization of MTP, 2017 the amendment of MTP. The second question is regarding ART. So what is ART? ART means assisted reproductive technology. Assisted reproductive technology is called ART. So actually what is asked here is the statement which is not true. It is not true as per the ART mechanisms or assisted reproductive technologies. So here ET can be done for embryos formed both by in vitro and in vivo fertilizations. What is meant by in vitro and in vivo fertilization? Suppose the fertilization takes place within the body of the organism. It is called in vivo. It is called in vivo. And if the fertilization is done outside the body of the organism by artificial methods, so that process can be called in vitro. So in the case of in vivo fertilization and in vitro fertilization, suppose the mother is unable to carry the pregnancy, the embryo can be transferred into surrogate mother and that process is called embryo transfer. So ET can be done for embryos. ET means embryo transfer. Embryo transfer can be done for embryos either in the case of in vitro fertilization or in the case of in vivo fertilization. So that is a right statement. In this question we have to select the wrong statement. Then the second one, embryos up to 8 blastomeres are transferred into fallopian tube by SIFT. So suppose this is the fallopian tube and suppose this is a uterus. Embryos up to 8 blastomeres are transferred inside the fallopian tube and embryos after 8 blastomere stage are transferred inside the uterus. And the embryo transfer, if it is occurring towards the fallopian tube, it is called zygote intrafallopian transfer or SIFT. And if the embryos are transferred inside the uterus after the 8 blastomere stage, it is called intrauterine transfer. So here embryos up to 8 blastomere stage are transferred into the fallopian tube by a process. That process is called SIFT. That also is a right statement. Then we can see the third statement. GIFT refers to the transfer of either sperm or ovum into surrogate mother. GIFT means gamete intrafallopian transfer. So GIFT is done in those females where the ovum is not present, then the ovum is transferred. The transference of ovum into the body is called GIFT and the sperm transference is not possible. So C is a wrong statement. So that will be the answer of this question. The direct injection of sperm into the ovum is possible under lab condition. What is that process called? This process is called ICSI. ICSI means intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So the correct answer is C. GIFT refers to the transfer of either sperm or ovum into surrogate mother. Okay. The next one is a direct question. In the year 2011, world population and Indian population were textbook directed on it is 7.2 billion and 1.2 billion. So B is the correct answer. Next one, surgical disconnection of vas deferens or fallopian tube. Vas deferens, the surgical disconnection of vas deferens occurs in males and surgical disconnection of fallopian tube occurs in females. So the disconnection of vas deferens is called vasectomy and the surgical disconnection of fallopian tube is called tubectomy. So both of these considered to be surgical sterilizations, and these are considered as the terminal method of contraception. Why it is called terminal method? It is, these two processes are considered as irreversible process. Okay. So even though they are effective, they are terminal, they cannot be reversed. So the surgical sterilization called vasectomy and tubectomy. Fifth question, find the odd man out. One is surgical sterilization, periodic abstinence, lactation and amenorrhea, and coitus interruptus. You know that periodic abstinence, lactation and amenorrhea, and coitus interruptus, all these three are natural or traditional methods of contraception, where no other medications or instrumentation or surgery are used. These are the natural or traditional method of contraception. But surgical sterilization is not a traditional method, it is a terminal method. We already studied that there are two processes. In males it is called vasectomy, and in females it is called tubectomy. So surgical sterilization is the odd man out here. The next question refers to LNG-20. LNG-20 is an intrauterine device, IUD, which releases hormones. It is a hormone releasing IUD. LNG-20 and progesterone are the hormone releasing IUD. Non-medicated IUD, example lips loop, copper releasing IUD, copper T or copper 7, etc. Terminal contraceptive means vasectomy and tubectomy that we already mentioned. The answer is B, hormone releasing IUD. Next one, which among the following groups of STDs are completely curable if detected and treated early? STD means what? STD means sexually transmitted diseases. In our textbook, it is said that 3 STDs. One is called herpes. Other one is called hepatitis B. Third one is called AIDS, or we can refer to as HIV infection. And these 3 cannot be completely curative. Okay? So you remember like this, in human beings, herpes, hepatitis and HIV infection means AIDS. 3H. These are not completely curable. Others are curable if detected early and treated early. So in the first choice, genital herpes is not curable. AIDS also not curable. In the second choice, syphilis is curable and gonorrhea also is curable. Both are STDs, but if they are detected and treated early, they can be completely curable. Hepatitis B is not curable. Herpes is not curable. AIDS is not curable, but trichomoniasis is curable. But the correct answer is B, syphilis and gonorrhea. Question number 8. Which of the following is an early symptom of STI? STI means sexually transmitted infection. It is a early symptom. All these are symptoms of STI. Ectopic pregnancy, infertility, stillbirth. These 3 are later complications. Fluid discharge is an early symptom. Fluid discharge, itching, etc. are early symptoms. So the correct answer will be B, fluid discharge. Next one, when a morula having 16 blastomere is transferred into a surrogate mother, it can be represented as. Suppose this is the fallopian tube and this is the uterus. Up to 8 blastomeres, it is transferred inside the fallopian tube. What is that process called? It is called zygote intrafallopian transfer. After 8 blastomere means 16 blastomere or 32 blastomere stage, morula and blastocyst. They are not transferred inside the fallopian tube, but they are directly transferred inside the uterine cavity. So that process is called intrauterine transfer. So when a morula having 16 blastomeres transferred into a surrogate mother, that must be transplanted inside the uterus, not inside the fallopian tube. So the answer is IUT. IUT means intrauterine transfer. Gift means gamete intrafallopian transfer. It is the transfer of ovum. IUI means intrauterine insemination. It is the artificial insemination of semen into the uterus. SIFT means this one, zygote intrafallopian transfer, but that must be possible when the embryo is having less than 8 blastomere. So this is the last question in this section. is a match the following: gift, ICSI, SIFT and IVF. Gift means gamete intrafallopian transfer. ICSI means intracytoplasmic sperm injection. SIFT means zygote intrafallopian transfer. IVF means in vitro fertilization. അപ്പുറത്തെ സൈഡിൽ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഇഞ്ചക്ഷൻ ഓഫ് സ്പേം കണ്ടക്റ്റഡ് ഇൻ ലാബ്, എംബ്രിയോ ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ, ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ ഓഫ് ഓവം. നോക്കൂ, ഇവിടെ ഇതിലേതെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് അറിയാമെങ്കിൽ ആൻസർ കണ്ടെത്താൻ പറ്റും. നോക്കൂ, ഗിഫ്റ്റ് നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ പഠിച്ചു, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ ഓഫ് ഓവം. സോ A4 ഒരു ചോയ്സേ ഉള്ളൂ അല്ലേ? അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ICSI മീൻസ് ഇൻട്രാസൈറ്റോപ്ലാസ്മിക് സ്പേം ഇഞ്ചക്ഷൻ, B1 ഒരു ചോയ്സേ ഉള്ളൂ. SIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. Zygote is transferred, it comes under the embryo transfer, C3യും ഒരു ചോയ്സേ ഉള്ളൂ. IVF, in vitro fertilization. It is conducted in the lab, not inside the body. It is conducted outside the body, conducted in the lab. IVF, D2, അത് ഒന്നിൽ കൂടുതൽ ചോയ്സ്, 2 ചോയ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ഇത് 3ഉം A4, B1, C3 ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് അറിയാമെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ആൻസർ എളുപ്പത്തിൽ കണ്ടെത്താം. ഓക്കെ, സോ വളരെ ചെറിയ ഒരു ചാപ്റ്ററാണ് റിപ്രൊഡക്റ്റീവ് ഹെൽത്ത്. അതിൻ്റെ ബേസിലുള്ള കുറച്ച് റെപ്രസെൻറ്റേറ്റീവ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആണ് നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തത്. ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.